Hi, I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V. And if you are a usual watcher of my channel, then you will know that at the beginning of the month, I set myself and you guys a 30-day challenge through September. I'm going to talk you through how I did with that now. So grab yourself a cuppa. I have in fact already got one because my teenager is here, and so I got them to make me one, because why would I make my own cuppa if I've got a teenager here that can make it for me? So grab yourself a cuppa. We're going to talk about it. Sidebar though, if you watched my old video about where I gave you advice and answered your anonymous dilemmas, you'll know that I use an app called Not Gonna Lie, ngl.link I think it is, and that allows people to give you anonymous questions, anonymous things that you can answer on Instagram or Twitter. And somebody said something, I can't remember what they said, I didn't look it up before I started doing this video, but somebody said something to me and I responded with, oh, you don't even know how I take my coffee, as a way of saying you don't know me very well, yeah? They instantly replied on Not Gonna Lie with, you like it white with 2 sugars, not too strong, not too milky. I was like, oh, that's quite scary. And then obviously I thought that was a bit creepy, but then they followed that up immediately to assure me that they weren't stalking me. It's just that I make a lot of coffee in my YouTube videos. Whoever you are, you're very attentive. You're very attentive to my videos. At least somebody is watching, I suppose. That's hi, person who's definitely not stalking me. Shall we move on? Okay, so my September challenge, kind of managed to epically fail that. How did I manage to fail a challenge that I set the rules for? Ridiculous. I'm going to talk you through it. So September starts and I start off really, really strong. For the first 2.5 weeks, I was doing really, really well. I was doing my exercising every day. I was reading books that I haven't read for years, and I love reading as well. So that was brilliant for me. And I was going outside, enjoying the sunshine. I even went out when it was raining one day, because it was that, or I wasn't going to go outside one day, and I was feeling really committed and like, I am that girl. We love that. Then about halfway through September, I got really, really poorly. I don't know why I thought I will do a fitness challenge in the middle of September, the month that I always get poorly on. Why did I think that that was going to be a good idea? Every year, when the children go back to school after the summer holidays, they go to school, they pick up all the coughs, colds, germs, bring them all home to me, and then I succumb to them while my kids are fine because I am weak, apparently. So I spent the latter half of September just feeling really, really poorly and sleeping a lot. And so I didn't feel like pushing myself to do exercise. And I also didn't really feel like reading or writing or meditating or thinking in any way, shape or form. It was very, very draining. I'm still feeling quite poorly now, but I feel like I'm on the mend now. So there's that at least. So let's go through. This was the checklist every day. And I apologise, I'm looking down at notes because usually I film my vlogs about 2 weeks in advance of you seeing them. But today is Friday, so you're going to be seeing this one on Monday, coming up Monday. And so this is very close to the wire. I'm very much looking down at my notes, haven't practiced, haven't planned this, probably waffling, saying a lot. I'm sorry, I will try and do better. But anyway, so our checklist. 6 glasses of water each day. That was a fairly arbitrary number that I chose because it was 2 glasses more than I already drunk, and so it was an improvement for me. You guys could have set your own levels for these things. 20 minutes of being outside every day, preferably going for a walk or something, but just sitting outside would be fine, I said at the beginning. 20 minutes of other physical activity each day, 20 minutes of reading, writing or meditating each day, wear sunscreen every day, eat a decent dinner every day or proper dinner each day, and document your progress. I mean, I did really, really well for the first 2 weeks, but like I say, I then got sick. So I didn't feel like exercising. I didn't feel like going outside. I wasn't actually probably well enough to go outside. I wouldn't have wanted to pass the poorliness that I had on to other people either. But there were a few that I did manage to do. So let's go through top to bottom. Drinking the water each day, I did actually manage to do that because I kept thinking it might actually help to sort of flush my system through as well. But also because when I was poorly, my mouth went really, really dry. And so I constantly felt thirsty. And so I found that one really, really easy. That was the one that I thought I was going to struggle with the most, but I found it very easy. I forget to do things like drink. And so being able to tick that one off, I'm very happy with myself for that one. That one, not too bad. And I think that that might have helped like my skin a little bit as well, because my skin feels a lot softer, a lot smoother, and part of that will be the sunscreen, but I think a lot of it is the water as well. The 20 minutes outside each day, again, started off really, really well at the beginning, but got to be honest, towards the end, no, because I wasn't going outside. I live near quite a few elderly people. I didn't want to infect them with something that might affect them worse than it does me, but also I just didn't feel like going out. And also about the same sort of time that I got sick, the weather really turned as well. We had had summer weather for the first half of September, but then we've had a lot of wet weather. It's looking nice today though, and I fully intend to go for a little walk today because I am feeling well enough to start doing that again. And I think that trying to get outside for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes each day is something that I'm going to try and carry forward along with the water actually. And I'm going to make an effort to at least go outside for 20 minutes most days, because it did help to elevate my mood going for that little walk each day. And I was glad that I had done it. Similarly, for the exercise, I was doing really, really well at first. I was doing my weights at home, I was doing yoga, I was doing my stretch to splits, which I've been doing for like a year and I still can't split. And I went back to a pole class as well, which was brilliant because it was my first proper pole class after going and getting my shoulder really badly injured again. I've spent about 9 months to a year, well, maybe even more than that, being injured with my shoulder, wanting to go back, going back, and then really hurting it again. And this time I went back and my shoulder was fine the next day, and I can still handstand, I can still invert, and I'm feeling really, really pleased with myself because I feel like I'm going to be able to go back again regularly. Sidebar again, I'm having issues with my car because I'm under some kind of car curse. Where every time I fix something on a car or decide I'll scrap a car and get a new car, something goes wrong again. If you know what sacrifice Hermes wants from me, I will give it. Just let me know, because this is ridiculous. I got a new battery for my car. The engine light immediately then came on and it started smelling like a burning hairdryer. And I don't need this stress in my life, especially at this time of year. Just behave yourself, Valerie. Cross your fingers for me, because that is going in next Monday. To the mechanic, and we want it to be a nice cheap nothing thing. Everybody just pray to Hermes for me for that, please. But yeah, so hopefully I'm going to be able to go back to pole regularly again. I'm certainly not injured anymore, and most of the time, to be honest, I did keep up with the 20 minutes other activity, because even at home when I wasn't doing some formal exercise, I actually was doing a lot of running around with my 8-year-old and dancing about and doing silly things like that. So it was only the days where I was very, very sick that I haven't kept that one up. But I still feel like I skipped enough days for that that gets a red X fail as well. Now you would think, for me, as a writer who has 5,000-ish books in my house by other writers, loves reading, loves writing, does all the witchy stuff, could really do with doing the meditating, you would think that the next part of the challenge would have been the easiest for me, right? But it was the hardest, and I don't know why. I started off great with it, doing a bit of reading, but then one day I was busy, too busy, and so I don't know why, it just felt like something that could be shelved in a way that doing the physical exercise or drinking all the water or whatever didn't. And I think I need to dig down and do some journaling into why that is, actually, because I should be able to prioritize doing that sort of thing for myself. Feeding my brain is as important as feeding my body. Exercising my spirituality and my intellect is as important as exercising my physical self. And so I'm disappointed with myself for that. And I think that I need to do a little bit of shadow work about what was going on there. Why did I feel like I didn't need to make myself a priority in those moments? And I'm going to revisit that and try and do a bit more of that. That's the main one that I think I'm going to take on as a sort of challenge again, is that I need to allow myself that time to spend on my spirituality, on my intellect, on pursuits that are maybe not creative in the same sort of way as arts or writing, but things like the meditation, I think that I really need to make an effort with that, for my own spiritual growth more than anything else. And so that really surprised me that I struggled so much with that. But I think that a lot of people, especially parents or people who are caring for other people, and you get used to putting other people's needs first and putting your own on the back burner when it's something that you don't, quote unquote, need to do. And so I guess a bit of my brain thought I don't need to do that, which is interesting. And I'm going to have to sit with that for a little while and work out why I found that so very difficult. Anyway, this one I actually can say I did every single day. I did put my sunscreen on. Sometimes I used this one, which is the Simple Radiance Booster SPF 30 Protect and Glow stuff. As you can see, this one I used every day and there's hardly any gone. And so this lasts really, really well and it goes very, very far. I did put the other Simple, I can't see it, I didn't get it ready, I'm so disorganized. I have got the other Simple moisturizer, which is also an SPF 30 that I would then put on over the top. And I did buy a spray one as well for in case I put my makeup in the morning and thought, oh, I forgot my sunscreen, so I could spray it over the top. I only had to do that once though, so I can't tell you how long that can last. Even though I did say at the beginning, I don't think this is going to last me for the month. I've actually still got quite a lot left. The sun is coming in really bright through that window now. Sorry about that. I went all glowy like an angel. That was, yeah, no. But speaking of glowy, my skin, which probably can't see actually because I do have makeup on, but my skin has felt really like it's glowing, and it feels softer, it feels smoother. Obviously, it's not enough time to tell you if it's like prevented the outbreak of wrinkles that I've got, because it's unlikely to do that in the long term. And I do still have my dark spots that were bothering me, but I don't know, I feel like they've definitely not got any worse at least, and maybe that they've lightened a little bit. And so I'm pleased with that and I'm going to keep that going. Apparently I'm going to say British Skin Foundation, but I'm not sure if that's correct. So if I'm wrong about that, a little caption's going to appear here correcting me. But they have said that everybody should be wearing sunscreen every day, even in the winter, to protect us just from the UVA and UVB rays that we get. And so I'm going to keep going with it and see if I can somehow magically reverse the aging process. That would be pretty cool. Food challenge. Now, I said to you guys that you can mix that one up and you can stick to a diet for the 30 days or something like that. But for me, a big thing that I do is skip my main meal, and that's really, really bad of me. I did eat a proper dinner most days. In fact, I think I only skipped my dinner twice. And even on those days that I did skip having a proper dinner, I still had hot food. Like not toast, I had like a toasted sandwich or something like that instead. And I made sure that I had some kind of fruit on those days as well. And the only days that I actually skipped food, it wasn't because I was too busy or I couldn't be bothered. It was because I was feeling very poorly and felt sick and didn't want to eat. And I still had a little something, and I still made sure that I took my vitamin on those days. And so I don't know if I can give myself a tick or not for that. I'm not sure, but I feel like I ate better than I usually would, which is something. And it's helped me to develop better habits so that I feel more able to eat my main meal going forward. And so that's a brilliant thing. And so maybe I get a tick that I'll decide later. We'll see. The one thing that I epically failed on was the documenting your process, unless you can count the fact that I do a daily vlog. But I don't think you really can count that, can you? So I'm giving myself a red X for that one as well, because, yeah, I completely failed to do that. I don't even know why. I've got a lot less self-conscious about being on camera since I started doing this vlog. And so I don't know why I just didn't. I was tired from all the exercise at first, and then after that I hadn't done it, I guess. But yeah, that was probably the least important bit though, wasn't it? Maybe. Anyway, I could have been dishonest and just told you that I did it and you would have never known, but we're all about the authenticity over here. We're going to be honest about our journeys with each other, and so yeah, I decided I'm going to let you know that I really managed to fail my own challenge like that. How embarrassing. But I'm not going to berate myself about that, because I drank more water than I otherwise would have. I've worn sunscreen that I probably wouldn't have otherwise, and I tried and I did a little bit, and doing a little bit is better than doing nothing. And if one of my friends said to me, I had to go at a challenge, I only did about half of it, but I tried my best, and I would tell them, be kind to yourself, you did really, really well for that. And so we're on a mission to be speaking to ourselves the way we would speak to our best friend. So well done, me, you did your best, and you can always try again if you want to. How did you do with the challenge if you joined in? I know one or two of you were joining in. I'd love to know how you did, whether you did better than I did. Maybe we'll do it all together in like the spring when we're more about doing all the physical stuff. Because now that we're going into the dark half of the year, I feel like I'm more comfy with doing the sitting at home reading, meditating things. I might find that a bit easier. But in the spring and summer, I want to focus more on my physical health. I don't know. We're going cycles. We're going seasons. That's okay. Anyway. Join me again next week, where hopefully it will be a bit less of a cobbled together video. I'm working on a little DIY project at the moment. I'm hoping to share that with you in the next couple of weeks, but I'm not quite finished it yet, so I'll tell you more about that at the time. I also need to change my altar to the dark half of the year altar. I normally do it on the 21st of September, but I was too poorly, and so I've still got my spring summer altar up. And it's probably going to be different from the autumn winter one last year, because my altar is different each year. I kind of do it intuitively. And so I might show you that next week or the week after. I'm not sure, depending on when I've finished my DIY project, to be honest. And what else have I got planned for you? Oh, yes. And I've also got planned for you a story that I'm going to read you that is from my Patreon last year for Halloween, or a different spooky story that I've written especially for you. I'm not sure, but yeah. We're going to get into the spooky season storytelling because I love that. And we'll revisit this whole glow up challenge thing another time, I think. If you can't wait until my next chaos vlog to see me again, totally understandable, just saying. I will be here every single morning in your YouTube shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for, inviting you to tell me what you're grateful for, and I love when you join in with that. Occasionally on a Tuesday, I'll do a Terrarium Tuesday and show you Dave and his new friend Chaz, which you can see in, I think it was last week's video that I showed you how I made Chaz, which you guys have named to go with Dave. Obvious answer, really. I don't know why I bothered asking. And so I keep forgetting to show you the terrarium progress. Remind me if I forget, but hopefully on Tuesday I will be here showing you them. And I'll also be here for a Witchy Wednesday as well. And probably doing some silly stuff with trending sounds, because apparently I do that now as well. But until then, you have yourself a magical week.